Hello, my name is Sam Farina.
And I am Ed Farina.
We are the Farinas.
Yes.
We're here to introduce you to our company, Grandmasters RX. And I think the first thing we should do is explain that long mouthful of words. We have, in our past, been exposed to sports and fitness trends that use the word masters. And I think even in golf and in tennis, masters is really a young person. In gymnastics, I think they tap out in their 20s. But in the sport of CrossFit that we have been playing in for a while, masters are considered 35 and up. And we, unfortunately, had spent a lot of time with athletes in their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. And when you get up there, and say you're an 80-year-old and you're comparing yourself to 55-year-olds or even 35-year-olds, it becomes a little ridiculous.
Rough.
So we added the word grand to masters to accentuate the fact that we are serving a slightly older population. And then the RX in the name has to do with a prescription for health, specifically for senior citizens in a functional fitness environment. And I don't know, what we do trends health in the right direction. So we like the RX as sort of our prescription or what we've laid out for a healthy life for seniors.
Beautiful. That's perfect.
Do you agree? All right.
That's perfect. And I think the only thing I would add is when we started this program in 2015, the average age of what we were dealing with was 78. That number has gone down. We've got the youngsters in, and now the average age is 74. So to give some numerical data to GMRX, Masters, all of that.
And our lab, we serve age ranges currently 55 to 93.
Yes, and we call our gym the lab.
It's kind of a lab.
Yes, it's definitely
Full of old rats.
a lot of old rats, and that's what we call them all the time.
Yeah. All right. So we wanted to give you a little bit of background about ourselves. Feel free to fast forward to the next section if you're not interested, but at least so that you know where we come from and that we come with some pretty good backgrounds and ability in what we're speaking to.
So I've been a physical therapist specializing in orthopedics, specifically outpatient only my whole career, which is now 40 years. I know it's forever. I've had just a fantastic career owning and operating my own clinics for the majority of those 40 years. I had a taste when I sold my initial group of clinics to a publicly held company. So on a large basis, managing a lot of companies and dealing with a lot of therapists in a lot of states. I had my taste of that. I then went back into private practice. Also for another chunk of my 40 years. But right around 2010, thereabouts, 2007, 2010, Sam and I really, we owned and operated 3 clinics. We started to develop a real love or a passion, if you will, for functional fitness. I think that's fair to say. And we decided to open a facility to specialize in functional fitness, a CrossFit facility. We did that in 2010. By 2015, we decided to start specializing in our senior population. And that's when the GMRX program really was born from that perspective. My training as a physical therapist in outpatient therapy I think has been fantastic, and I'm very proud of that. My training has really shifted probably over the last 15 years, where now it's been much more into what we would call fitness in terms of things like Mark Ripetoe's starting strength, or FMS, functional movement systems, or USAW weightlifting, or mobility, or gymnastics. All of that blend has really shifted my way of thinking, right? From being a PT who deals with just a total knee to now how do I really impart health and wellness on this aging athlete. And so for me in this puzzle, I'm trying desperately to get my PT colleagues to learn more about health and wellness and fitness and programming and all of those things. And for my coaches, my other colleagues, I want them to learn more about human anatomy, human physiology, human kinesiology. What is a joint replacement? What is impingement syndrome? What is spinal stenosis? All of those things that my PT colleagues deal with every day. And so I feel like I wear one hat every day, but I know that sometimes with my partner here, it's based on who's the audience I'm trying to deal with. This audience I'm trying to deal with both. I'm trying to reach out to my colleagues, my PT colleagues, and my colleagues in the coaching world.
And eventually directly to the seniors. That were just like drug companies, were about to go directly to the seniors.
So that's my long-winded career. Samantha?
Mine's a little easier. I have a bachelor's in health and wellness and a master's in business and marketing, and I've spent the majority of my career outside of college with Ed in the clinics. Back in the days where techs were allowed in the clinics, or if you had a bachelor's degree in exercise science, you could work in a PT clinic alongside the PTs. And yes, times have changed, but all of that education that I got from him added to our CrossFit functional fitness training. I got a personal trainer certification through the Academy of the American College of Sports Medicine, and I liked the higher level anatomy and physiology that came with that. And my history blended with Ed's creates kind of a monster as it relates to how to keep people safe, seniors specifically, but how to push them really hard enough that we get results, but not so hard that you hurt somebody. And I think that's part of the magic that exists between the two of us. Is we are a little bit older. We're not 20 years old telling an 80-year-old that they need to squat below parallel or a little lower than they are squatting. So my certifications run right along with Ed's in the fitness field. We have done almost everything together. And so that's us. We're pretty animated. He's funny. He's good cop, I'm bad cop. We make a nice team as it relates to this gym and educational environment.
Perfect.
Good.
That's perfect.